Yo, it's just a black podcast. Sundays, y'all know what it is. We back. And Josiah was good, bro.
What's up, bro? I'm good, bro. Detroit is Detroit.
Detroit is Detroit. Yeah, I'm sure it's cold out there. It's looking lovely in Nashville. I mean, it's like 70 some degrees today, so I ain't complaining. Yeah, but we back in this thing, man. We got a special guest today. My boy, my friend, Mark Peterson Jr. He from Milwaukee. I know my guy from TSU, my TSU days. He's at Marquette right now. He's a graphic designer. He has a movement called "While We Still Killing Each Other." So I want to welcome him to the show. Appreciate you getting on the pod, bro.
Man, God bless, man. I appreciate you all for having me, right? Like you just said, we go back, it's the TSU family thing, right? And look, you done traveled up here, we got to see Cuddy together.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
That was crazy. That was crazy. But I mean, of course, that HBCU experience, man, and the love and support that we shared between peers, across professors, right?
Yeah.
Any staff at the university, right? It was just really impactful, and it's cool to always tap back in with my TSU family, just to help with whatever we got going on. But what's really cool about that experience, in my current role at Marquette University, I'm not sure if you are familiar with Upward Bound, that type of program, but
sounds familiar.
I was going to say, I think I've heard of the name. I don't know too much about it though.
So Upward Bound, right, is one of the branches. And it started actually here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So the program that it's housed under is called the Educational Opportunity Program. So about 50 plus years ago, of course, doing civil unrest and things of that nature, our founder, he kind of got the idea and was pointed this position to help economically disadvantaged, right, youth, specifically from Black communities, right, which today it falls under Black and Brown communities. But where I serve in the Educational Opportunity Program at Marquette University is specifically in student support services. So again, that word support, the love and support that I felt and experienced at an HBCU, the best HBCU at that, Tennessee State University.
Yes, sir.
Right. I'm able to, for one, I'm grateful that that energy exists on a predominantly white institution like Marquette University. Because it's necessary for these kids to have that sense of support and love, from tutoring to advising, and my specific role is a recruiter. So I'm able to go to in the inner city schools and work with the kids early, right? I try to get them in as early as I possibly can. They can get in on the pre-college side. And not only do I serve as college recruiter at Marquette University, I teach on the pre-college side, which is why I mentioned Upward Bound.
That's hard.
So literally, it's been like all of these experiences kind of compounded into this position. Upon after I graduated, I came back, got an education. I was a paraprofessional at first, didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew I loved the youth, right? That was enough for me to get up every day and I mean, they call it work, but that wasn't work for me. So from there, I found a home. I taught 7th grade English for about 4 years. And I ended up stepping out of the classroom to focus on some personal endeavors, right? To focus more on my design business. And that's where Why We Still Killing Each Other kind of comes into place. So I want to say probably, bro, when I moved home, I literally was with a group of kids. And y'all remember those What Would Jesus Do bracelets?
Yeah.
Right. I wanted all of them as a kid. And it was simply just a question. But growing up in the church, I would really stop and kind of ask myself that from time to time. And I wanted to mimic that somehow, some way. So I was with a gang of students and I'm like, well, what's a question that we would ask our community? And after that conversation, going home, I kind of landed on, well, why are we still killing each other?
That's crazy.
Well, that's really how it started, right? It started literally in the model of what would Jesus do.
Right.
And I didn't know what it was, right? I didn't know what it would become. I just knew that that was an important question that I wanted people in our community to think about.
Yeah.
And yeah, like even today, right? Like I've tried programming, My main, probably more consistent base is through merchandise and things of
Yeah.
that. But I'm still just tweaking and figuring out what it means. But I like to always tell people that that idea became a part of me. That question became a part of me. So even the growth that I see, it's with that question in mind.
No, for real.
No, for real,
That's
bro.
a
Like,
definitely an important question. I mean,
mhm.
did you have like a when you say you were talking to youth about different questions, did that come from like a brainstorm session, or was that
Oh,
kind of like something that you came up like through your own experiences or seeing how the culture moves or whatever?
just coming back to Milwaukee,
Yeah,
coming back
that's
home,
real.
um, and knowing that the kids were hurting,
Hmm.
as we all know, death has become all too common.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
I've gotten too comfortable
You're
with it.
getting numb to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough to it, right? And I feel there are factors that play into how things have changed and how we've become a little less sensitized to the
Hmm.
idea of violence. But seeing it in real time and hearing kids talk about, oh, I lost this person and that person,
Hmm.
almost like it was normal.
Wow.
Right? So now that's really where that question kind of came from. And despite, we may never find an answer to that question, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's not the goal. The goal is to get people, one, I always felt it was like a self-worth type of issue, right?
Hmm.
Where like if I looked in the mirror and I loved what I saw, it'd be easier for me to look at somebody else and say, you
The
know what?
same way. Yeah.
I could
Hmm.
maybe love that person one day, or maybe that person loves themselves as much as I love myself. So why would I do harm? But because, and again, this is my opinion, I feel that too many people
Hmm.
look in the mirror and they don't really love what they see. Right. So now it makes it easier for me to look at, I don't love myself. So it's easy to
Yeah.
not to raise a gun and do harm to somebody else or take from someone else or crack a joke to make someone else feel bad. So it was really like a self-worth project, right? And
Mm.
that was like the first program that I kind of bent from that question. And that still reigns true today. So, we about 10 years into this idea,
Yeah.
and it's still growing. It's going to continue to grow as I grow, right? So that's a
Hmm.
good question. And it started from just a conversation, things I was observing in that conversation. And it was like, yeah, I know that that's kind of not okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that's not cool, bro.
You shouldn't be used to
Yeah.
that, right? You shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's just crazy, bro. I wanted to get you on here because I saw you tweeting right after Takeoff's death, and
That's
then
crazy,
just
man.
um, and then I had posed a question like, bro, like the stuff that we glorify, the stuff that we praise, sing about, rap about consciously or
Mhm.
unconsciously because we fooling around. It's like all that is kind of like failing us. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Over the past since 2019, really, if we just want to keep it a short
For sure.
history,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've lost like really big names, and that's just rap music.
Mhm.
And then when you go down, if you want to stay grounded, like people in your neighborhoods, and then on top of the pandemic, and then you
Mhm.
seeing your people die on TV, and then people just go about it like it's just nothing, and then go to work the next day, and people think you're just supposed to
Okay.
be
Yeah.
be okay. It's and
It's
I
like it's
just
a crazy cycle, right?
it's a crazy cycle.
It's a crazy, crazy cycle. And when I think about cycles, right? Even like Lion King, the smash
Hmm.
on there, circle of life, right?
Circle of life.
Life moves in a cycle, right? But what I feel is it should be like an upward cycle, right? Like a
Hmm.
spiral, if you will. And I think
Hmm.
too many people just get caught in the loop.
And in the loop,
Yeah.
right? I was just
And they
about to say
don't
that.
stop to reflect to figure out, well, how can we advance, right? How can we
Hmm.
grow? How can we make it better? And when I look around at anything, right, that God has put on this earth, we are here to grow.
Hmm.
That means growing beyond anything we're taught in the household, anything that we somehow get used to in our experience. That's not the be all end all. You should one day want to grow beyond that, right? So even when we talk about the influence of artists, it's always like a twofold conversation when I talk about hip hop's influence on what's happening in our communities, right? From a psychological perspective, because I'm a big therapy guy, right?
Yeah. Sounds like it. I can
Really
tell.
what I'm into,
I
right?
can tell by the energy, bro. Yeah.
Into it. So I like to separate, right, the artist and their art.
Yeah.
And that's can we stay here for a second
Let's
before
do
you
it.
keep going? Because I try to do that too, bro. But I find it so difficult sometimes, bro. Because like I feel like we see more of the personality and the character behind the entertainment. You know what I mean? Like you see that more than I guess them performing or them or their music videos. It's like it's tough to kind of separate when
It's
they're
just because we have a
doing.
lot of access to them now. To like
That's
everyone.
That's a good point, Josiah.
That's a great point. So now more than ever, and specifically,
Yeah, it's like how do you do that? I guess.
Ours. Yeah, no, like so generations after ours, we can recall the time, right, without this,
right,
without Instagram, without Facebook.
We're the last generation too to have that. Yeah,
that is really a part of their identity, whether we agree with it or not. When you take it from them, like that's tough. You know what I'm saying? That's like taking the park away from us, right? Or taking, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? Like, what? It's a part of what we do. So this has become a large part of their life, and it is hard for them to separate it, right? And then now tying into our question of separating art from the artist, it may be just as difficult for them to do because now you have this stage where, well, I said this in the song, so now maybe I am more urged. I couldn't find a better word, but maybe I am urged more to portray that. Right?
Yeah, to that personality. You
because
know,
I rap about it, and now people can see me. And if they see me and I don't reflect that,
right? They're gonna think I'm
despite
fake
me
or ain't
wanting to
real.
get away from that, despite me growing beyond that, now
Yeah.
they don't think I'm real, right? And then now you got this issue. So I like to try to look at it, and when I say separate art from the artist, their art can either help or hinder their personal growth, right? And where it kind of gets
You talking about the consumer, like the consumer of the art.
I'm talking about the artist. So
the artist, I got you.
You got the artist and you got their art. Their art can either help them or hinder
I got you.
them personally, right? What's happening and what I feel is happening is that the art that they're putting out, I think we can look at it and say, or really raise the question, you know, is it helping or is it hurting you? You know? And I think that's something really, really worth exploring. So it's not about saying like, yo, it's rap's fault that all of this is happening.
Yeah,
how
that's
is
too
the
general,
art, right?
It's too broad.
How is
you know,
art that they're putting into the world helping them grow as individuals, right? Or keeping them in this same box that, you know, they really working hard to get out of. So I think that's like the deeper type of question to ask about this issue, because it's too easy to say that it's rap's fault.
Right.
It's not a lot of introspective songs anymore now than it was 10 years ago.
Now watch, here come the flip to that.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's a lot of introspective rappers.
It's just not.
It's not mainstream.
It's just
mainstream.
Now we kind of get into like the further conversations of the business, right?
Right.
Pick what songs will become the hit. That's not like, there are a couple songs where that happens by happen chance and they just grow organically.
Yeah.
But there are some cases where it's chosen. No, Future gave us all these songs. Young nigga move that dope. Yeah, let's get that one. Be the one on the radio. That's catchy. Right.
Out of all the songs he got.
All the songs, right? Out of all the artists that are out here, it seems that the trend has now become the drill artists, right?
The trap. Yeah.
Trap, right?
It's been that way for like a while because, like you said, bro, we're a different generation. We brought up around Most Def.
That was the mainstream artist.
Nas, you know what I mean? It's like and they were really talking about they were really kind of reflecting what was actually happening in your neighborhoods, and that was the relatability, and then bringing people together to kind of do more for community.
Yeah, I think it was a better mix back then.
Look, watch, not even a better mix. They were real artists.
Right.
Like Nas would talk about the streets in a way where you really had to go get a dictionary and like, whoa.
In an eloquent way, because
Like,
that's his lane. Yeah,
it
correct.
was art. It wasn't like
I'm making this for streams.
I shot this dude on the 3rd of February, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and now I'm smoking the pack. Like, it wasn't so.
It had depth, bro.
That's
what. Yeah.
It wasn't just blatant. Like, oh wait, you said you killed this man on the 3rd. Let me go look and see if somebody died on the 3rd of June. Oh, somebody did die on the 3rd of June in this neighborhood that you say you from. Wait a minute, now it's a little too real.
Yeah.
You know? Nas, they're artists, right? In a sense where they could take the pain that they were experiencing and turn it into art.
Mm-hmm.
I think today, the youth and even older people, we're taking our experiences and we're just telling it to a cool beat.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's like, you know,
but there's nothing behind it.
Person, but it's like, yo, they really just went on here and said this,
right?
And it really did it, right? Or at least it's plausible enough that it opens up an investigation. Kind of like,
like I've been trying to find this killer for about 3 years. We finally found him.
Like, oh, we finally found him because it's the #1 song on the Billboard chart right now, and he says it in the song. So I mean,
that's crazy because like now, like they're trying to like use lyrics to indict. And then like the whole Thug situation. I don't feel like the Thug situation and then like what happened with Takeoff, what's happening with Ye. I feel like we're at a weird reckoning, bro. It's like we're about to shift into a different level of hip hop and culture. But like right now it's just like the fork in the road, you know, like which way are we really gonna go? You know, like are we gonna mourn Takeoff's death? But then like rap about violence the very next week. And then like the 21 Savage and the Drake album, he talks about how like it's alleged that he has a lyric in there saying that Meg lied about getting shot, but she's still a stallion.
And it's like the next day, right?
Yeah, it's the next day. But even though you have rappers like Yachty come out and say the lyric was
double
about
entendre.
Was about BBLs.
But he didn't know what he was doing.
But that's what I'm saying. Drake is so good with his words,
Drake's
bro.
Good. Drake knows.
Yeah, he's a great rapper, bro. He know what he's doing.
Like Drake, I mean, Drake knows exactly what he's doing. But even just to speak to the culture, right, the state of hip hop culture.
Yeah,
I mean, you're right. We are at a point where it's kind of like, yo,
what we gonna do for real, bro?
Like, there's no line drawn,
right? How's it gonna grow? Are we just gonna stay on this same loop?
Yeah,
where we born and we back listening to the same stuff that could possibly may or may not play a role in things that are going on that we don't appreciate in our community. And what I really, really stand on, like this is just something that I believe like wholeheartedly. Man, bro, it's like I'm a big believer in the individual, right? A lot of people want to like just help save a community,
a group, right?
Communities are made up of individuals.
Yeah,
if individuals aren't well, I don't know why we think a community will.
Yeah,
right. The bigger and larger issues. Again, this is therapy. Again, you know that's my nickname, Mark P. I got therapy now. That's my thing. So,
pushing P.
I got my therapy hat on. Right? So individuals have to get better. Right? Individuals have to heal from things that they've experienced. Rap may not be the best outlet to do that. You may need a buffer in between to maybe say, hey, maybe you shouldn't say it that way, right? Or maybe if we frame it this way, right? If people sought therapy as an option more, if we were able to kill that stigma and get people to really reflect on who they are and realize that, yo, this may be who you are today, but now it's like, do you want to stay that way or do you want to grow beyond that? Once individuals can ask that question more, I just think simultaneously you'll see communities now start to really formed.
What I'm gonna say to that is, like, I feel like the cool thing now is to have controversy, is to have like thought provoking subject matters,
Clout.
clout, rather that be White Lives Matter T-shirts
Mhm.
or the line about Meg being a double entendre. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like they know what they're doing, bro, and it's
Yeah.
like
It's
to your point earlier,
provocative,
it's like
right? That's the term.
they got this power and these platforms, bro, and it's like they could be doing a lot more. And I like these guys. I like Drake. I like Kanye West. It's
Mhm.
like they're great artists, but
Mhm.
like when you separate it, it's like, bro, Kanye, he really lost a lot in like a week, and like Kanye late registration, yay. I would have never said that like he
Mhm.
gonna go this big and lose.
Yeah.
I guess relationships. He
Yeah,
didn't
definitely
lose
relationships.
Yeah.
his star status. It's just
How
the
people perceive
banks,
them.
the
Yeah.
companies. It's just like it's just weird, bro.
So watch this. One thing about Ye, right? Look, where we saw Cuddy at, I saw Ye at in 2004, right?
That's
Ye
tight.
was still bubbling. Like that's
Yeah.
a small venue here in Milwaukee. Like Ye had
Yeah,
never
that
been
was
this
fun, bro.
right? And that
That
was
was
incredible.
fun. That was my only time seeing Kid Cudi too. That was dope, bro.
Mine as well. That was legendary.
Yeah.
But one thing about Ye, what Ye has always represented, and it's arguably what most of us loved about him,
Mm-hmm.
he refused to be placed in a box.
Yep.
He refused to.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
It's always
until
him, though. It's
right,
always been him.
yeah, always from jump.
Always been
That's
him.
one thing that
Yeah.
has never changed. So
But that's what before you get to your next point,
ahead.
I think that is what people attract people to Ye. It's like he knows himself so much and he believes in himself so much that he's willing to like do anything to like go after his dreams or whatever. And people can relate to that because we're struggling and have our own challenges in our lives and we want to, get to these levels. It's like, all right, I love that about Ye. He was so real.
Now watch this.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it when we're all in agreement with
Is what he's saying.
Yes.
Now it's and we often talk about the road less traveled, right? When we were all on Ye's path, right? You can call it college dropout, late registration. You can call it everything probably from graduation prior to, right? Even when he said George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Yeah.
It's a gang of people
That was an outburst.
like a large part of the black community right now. They probably love Ye. But now he finally said something that they didn't agree with. And now they got off, right?
Right.
Kind of watched him go on the path without them. I feel like our community, we're now watching Ye go on a path without us.
Without us.
Now watch this though. I've always applauded the road less traveled. That's not an easy path. And when you're on that road that nobody else is on, it gets lonely, right? It gets cold. And it's just a matter of time because I watched people say Ye could never rap. And he went on that rapper road by himself, right? Before you know it, what happened? Everybody followed him on that path.
Same with the fashion. Now everybody got
Same
shoes.
with the fashion. I watched his first fashion show. No outlets were there.
Y'all at the Madison Square Garden?
Yeah. Nobody, I think even prior to that, right?
Yeah.
Prior to that one, nobody believed. And there's an interview and he laughed and he tells this lady, like, no, remember this day. Because one day everybody's going to be here. And he went and did it. So a testament from Ye. And again, I mean, I guess it's fair to say that I'm a Ye fan for whatever that means, right? I will say that. I am objective, right? I don't agree with all of his methods.
Correct.
But I also don't let his methods stop me from listening to him. I feel that's a problem. I feel some people feel so strongly about how something he's done has made him feel that it's like, I'm done listening to him. I'm not one of those.
Yeah, I'm on that side. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna let that.
Still watch so now watch this.
I listen to late registration at least once a year, bro. Like,
right? We talk about the media. We talk about the media's influence. We talk about how they pick certain songs, certain artists.
And Kanye will talk about that too. Yeah.
Watch this. Now that Kanye's talking about it, the media is selling the narrative to get us to support him or to move further away from him.
Yeah,
Right?
because he'll say a lot in 3 hours. He'll say a lot in 3 hours on a drink
He
champ.
expounds a lot.
And then,
like, just to be fair, I'm a very non-linear type of thinker.
Right.
So, like, I can, that's just how I think, right? Things kind of come from everywhere. I got a lot of information up here. And Ye is similar in that regard, right? Where if you listen to it from 3 hours, he'll talk about everything from Barney to Malcolm X to the Magic School Bus to his mama. Like, he talk about everything in the world, but he paints pictures of his ideas. And one thing I respect is that he always says, like, it's how I feel. People have a right
to how they feel.
To anything. Yeah,
not a problem until you say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that Ye has never been afraid of doing.
I think that's where the access parts comes in.
Yeah.
If he was a big artist in the 90s, I don't think we would hear as many of his thoughts as we do now.
Right?
Unless he put it in a book or
unless he put it like,
You don't have that. So I feel that Ye caught a lot of flack that now through Kyrie and what's happening to him, right? People are saying, oh, wait, something is kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
But people that are really in tune to the music industry, Michael Jackson fought this fight. And before he died, we knew Mike Jackson, the man that moonwalked. The man has been a star since he was a kid. They got songs still that we love and adore and dance to this day. He died as Wacko Jacko.
Facts.
Right? But his fight was against the music business.
Yeah. Always.
Prince.
Yeah.
Who was known as Prince, who changed his name to a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
That was due to the business,
his
contracts, and what he was attempting to find ways to get out of. It's a similar fight.
That's true.
Right? So now
they just go about it in different ways. Kanye's so radical and loud with it.
He's so radical.
Yeah.
And no, I'm the one to say that, and he's even admitted to it. They deemed him in the sunken place. That happened.
Kanye
did. Kanye was in the field with us, right?
People wouldn't just say that. You know what I mean?
Kanye made it to the big house.
Yeah.
Inside the house. And he made it to inside the house and he got caught all up in it. But then he started to learn from these conversations, right? I believe. Again, this is all assumption. And now he done set the house on fire. He's running back out to get our attention. And we all like, going somewhere, man. You forgot about us. You went in that house and got to acting crazy. But we're failing to realize that he made billionaire status. That's a whole different network of people. That's a whole different caliber of conversation. And we see a tweet. We don't see how much went into what got him to make that tweet. And that is his standing point. Y'all can take whatever from me. I'll wear that. But it does not negate the fact that there's a problem that needs to be addressed.
Right, it should be addressed.
Yeah.
I feel like
go ahead, Josiah. Reminds me of the Dave Chappelle interview he used to do back in the day when he came back from Africa and I was saying all this stuff was crazy. How people was basically telling him that he was crazy.
They're telling me nuts. They did it to Dave. They did it to Lauryn Hill.
Right.
People that go against this machine.
The norm.
For some reason, they get a label, which is anti-Semitism. That's the label that people put on.
That's the new,
And that's a very, very interesting label. It's crazy in the past two recent examples of Ye and Kyrie, how quick the label got smacked on.
I wish both of them was a little bit better at like
explaining
how they explain themselves or articulate their ideas. Because it's there.
I think so.
A little bit. Not really, but a little bit. I feel it a little bit.
I think it would help with
like
Kyrie.
I feel like Kyrie
for them to say they're offended.
I feel like if they were more so on the I guess the movement of Black people and the movement of the culture instead of trying to put down others. And like I feel like that is kind of hindering their I guess their movement or whatever they're trying to convey it within their truth or whatever. Like Kyrie's figuring out, I guess, his history, his lineage, his family or whatever. But the way he's portraying it, it's like Come on, bro. And then these are smart gentlemen, bro. Like they know
they're
the
not
media.
stupid.
Yeah, they're like
put down. What did he say? What do you think he said that actually intentionally put someone down?
You talking about Kyrie?
Kyrie.
I
think just tweeting the movie without explaining like what you agree with, what you don't disagree with. It's
because people watched it.
Yeah,
and it was like, whoa.
And like communities were hurt, and you got to admit that. And like you said earlier, people are entitled to their feelings, so you got to account to that when you're saying different things, bro. And it's like you're on this big platform, the NBA. Kanye is the greatest artist of our generation. They got like the way that they do it, they have to like. I feel like some of that has to account for something.
It seemed like Kyrie.
I watched the news. I watched so many large platforms say incorrect information.
Facts.
And it's the end of it. It's blown over.
Yeah. Like the weather.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like one year and you say things. One thing I'm a firm believer in is that it's all assumption, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the type to say that somebody is right or wrong for what they believe in. Right, with context, right? If you just out here
with
and
context,
you believe in Jeffrey Dahmer, and now you're just running around killing people and eating people.
No, that's
right. That's kind of. You have to make that make sense for me, right? I'm not a big right. Put it like this, and this is how I live life. I'm not a big right or wrong person. Either things make sense or they don't, right? Mm-hmm. And I think what's happening right now is that because some information that's being shared may not make sense to someone, they're immediately labeled as like something to offend.
And I still want to kind of want to watch or read the book, but also I want to like learn about like the other side of it too. You know, like I guess like white Jews versus black Jews, the history of both sides and how we got to this.
So I'll tell you how.
I'll tell
you where it starts.
You know,
right?
Fiasco.
My knowledge, at least, right? Because again, I'm an avid reader. I remember the first time I saw Farrakhan speak. We were in Nashville. He came to the church right down the street. Though.
Exactly.
And I wondered, why couldn't he come to TSU?
Yeah.
But it's because he's labeled an anti-Semite.
As a mutual. Yeah, and all. Yeah, I was going to say the religious factor.
Now can't get in alignment with anti-Semite because now that messes up.
Correct.
The business of TSU, right? Correct. So no, he can't come to campus.
And that's why they have you like Cornell West come.
Exactly.
Instead of like, I feel you.
Right. Even Cornell, he got kicked out of prison and out of Harvard, right?
Yeah.
But now watch this though. So to my knowledge, and we can use the book of Revelation as a source, right?
Relax. Yes, we can.
This is the Bible, right? This is in red, right?
Yeah.
So
in red. Facts.
There is a conversation that Jesus shares in the good book about Jews and those that are imposters, right?
Correct.
Or pretending
You're
to
correct.
be Jews.
Mm-hmm. Gentiles.
That is in the text, right? And then he labels that group. They are the synagogues of Satan. Like that's in there. So now that opens up a question, right? And I was talking to my moms. This is just the other day. And like I talk about growth, right? Even in religion, like, are you practicing a dying religion, a religion that is not growing? Because I'm the type of Christian that I'm gonna call my pastor and I'm gonna ask him, like, yo, well, what does he mean by that?
Yeah,
right.
I don't understand.
That sometimes too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So now watch this. The headlines take the video that Kyrie shared and they blast, oh, they called
the Holocaust fake. Yes,
Satan.
White fake. Yeah.
Or they call white Jews the devil. And because this is clickbait culture, that's all everybody gets.
That's what, I was gonna say it's a 3.5 hour
that
movie.
Sounds kind of anti-Semitic. Like, but that's not, they're not just waking up and saying that, right? So because it doesn't make sense, shouldn't cease all conversation about it.
I think that's
anti-Semitism, and it comes to the Holocaust, and it comes to Hitler, who learned everything from America, by the way, who was inspired by America and our caste system and how they were dehumanizing individuals based off their color of their skin, and nobody cared.
Mm-hmm.
He idolized and was inspired by America. And guess what? He even cut the line. He said America was tripping at one point at how they classified. They said if you got an ounce of black blood in you, you not white, you black. He wouldn't even go as far as say that about Jews. It had to be something different, right? He said that, whoa. They tripping over there in America. We can't do it like that. So even Hitler thought America was doing too much at one point. But so many people don't know that. So many people don't discuss that. So many people haven't been exposed to that.
Yeah.
Right. And then that is now where the issue comes, because those or some of those in the Jewish race, instead of exploring that space, they get insecure. And it's like, no, we're stamping you this because once upon a time, Hitler talked bad about Jews and he got others to talk bad about Jews. And then the Holocaust happened. So now anybody that talks bad about Jews and you get other people to talk bad about Jews,
it could possibly happen.
It could happen again. We got to set it right away.
Which I respect.
I never looked at it in that way, but that's powerful.
I respect that. We don't be on that sometimes.
We don't be on that with slavery,
like,
bro.
We still be watching Liam Neeson movies.
We still and they the ones that produce them.
Yeah.
Correct.
But it's because they want to reinforce that idea. So when Kyrie speaks about, when I started kindergarten, the first thing I learned about my ancestors is what?
Slavery.
Yeah,
right, to say, the first movie ever made was that slave movie.
Yeah,
the first motion picture.
The first motion picture.
Birth of a Nation, something like that.
Yeah.
Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation. Correct.
There is a reason why these ideas are put in place. And I don't care what anyone says. It's not about offense or not, but it's about an objective reality.
Nah, you're right, bro.
There was no black or white once upon a time. Somebody came and created that idea and now created a hierarchy system based on that idea. Correct. And we're all slaves to that. White people are slaves to superiority.
Yeah.
Black people have become slaves to inferiority. And it's to a point where even I just left church and my pastor, Ken Locke, right? He was at TSU.
Oh, that's
that's my boy, man. My boy Kenny, man. So he even preached. He about today. He was just preaching about oh man, I just lost it. But it has to do with, oh my God, I just lost it. I told you I'll be all over the place. When that comes back, I'm gonna drop that. Right? So go ahead.
I would say, Josiah, you had a thought though.
Yeah, I think what I guess was stopping people from listening to Kyrie is like he's not explaining everything that he knows. Like he just does like a statement, and he expects people to understand everything in context. So it's kind of weird. So like, they asked him like, "Are you anti-Semitic?" And then he didn't answer.
He said, "If I know who I am, I can't be there."
Instead of just saying no and then explaining why he posted those things or why he believes in these things.
I feel like people want him to say certain things, but Kyrie's on the side like,
nah, people want him to say certain things.
I can say what I want to say.
You're going to apologize the way that
I want you to. I want you to say.
That's a little weird. He has homework.
No,
it's weird.
He's like, no.
They gave him assignments, bro.
Now, they gave him assignments.
That's weird.
When is that ever going to stop?
Like, what does that have to do with basketball, bro? The NBA.
And now it's like, you know what?
Nah, that's crazy.
Now you got to go here. Now you got to
now you got to talk to Jewish leaders.
You're on this slippery slope,
like,
right?
Bro, this ain't basketball.
I'll tell you, and this is to not, and again, right? I even replaced my pinned tweet on my page because I needed people to know something about my page. And I've had numerous conversations since this happened. Very productive and healthy conversations where it's like, and Kyrie is saying this as well. Kanye is saying it as well. I speak from a position of love. I am trying to advance humanity. We have a problem and people are unwilling to talk about it. If you refuse criticism, you stop progress. That is a group of people that we are seemingly not allowed to criticize. So that relationship can never grow. And I learned this in physics. Criticism and progress go hand in hand. They do. Once upon a time, because I said so was like law. You couldn't question it.
Yeah.
But that's not a good explanation. And what the way that anti-Semitism, and this is not to discredit anything that has happened, the way that it's being used currently is not a strong enough explanation to not further the conversation and the problems that people are bringing up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel once upon a time, like in Hitler's era, that may have been a more true form of anti-Semitism. But there's so much history around the Rothschild family, around these big families that have funded countries. You're the financier of governments, right? Like, you're the money backing it. You're ultimately in control. Like, and I don't want to just like read or recite any rhetoric from books that I've read, but there's a lot of information that's out here. And because I am such a fallibist, right, I question everything. It just kind of is what it is. It's all assumption. There's not that many facts. So even when it comes down to religion, and like I went on my journey away from Christianity, and I got closer to God by learning about other religions, right? And I feel that that's what's most important. What is your personal relationship with God? How hard are you working to find him for yourself, despite what you were taught as a child? And one thing that I discovered, a lot of it goes back to Ethiopia, right? Christianity and Judaism, in which Hebrew wasn't even a language yet. The language is a dead language called Ge'ez. So now you get these translations of this religious
I've heard
text,
this before,
right? And now everything kind of, it can get distorted any which way. So who are you to say that your translation is right and my translation is wrong, when all of it is a translation from a language that predates
it's ancient text, bro? And it was written for that context, bro. And the way, and sometimes the way the Bible's written, it's not written like a straight line from Genesis to Exodus. Like sometimes they will connect Genesis for what's happening in Leviticus. Like they will go back to go forward. That's the Bible, bro. And then like you got to sit you, like when I try to read the Bible now, I'm 32 years old, bro. Like I'm trying to get at a better understanding of what I believe in. And it's like it's like a time travel box, bro. Like when I read the Bible, I literally have to like set my foot within whatever whoever I'm reading about, whether it's Daniel or Samson or Esther. It's like I gotta literally go back in time to like see like how the government, how society were, to really understand the passage or the story.
How many people do you think do that? Versus how many people you think accept what they accept on the surface?
It's tough. They're thinking like they're reading something from 2022. It's like, nah, bro.
I was talking to my mom's, right? And I'm like, well, Mom, what's the last question you asked Pastor? What's the last question? She's like, well, I asked him something in Bible study. I'm like, okay. So I brought up like just that synagogues of Satan verse. I'm like, well, would you ask Pastor this? She's like, no. I'm like, well, why not? Because I don't want to know the answer.
The fear of the truth.
But you see, like, I just feel that we are here to grow.
Right.
And our greatest truth can become our greatest lie one day. Right. If you don't grow beyond it. Anything that prevents me from growing, like I want to shed it. My understanding of like as a child, calling people gay, you know what I'm saying? And feeling a way about that community.
Right.
I'm ashamed of me feeling that way once upon a time, or how I may have treated somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I?
Correct.
So I had to grow.
Correct. Who am I to tell somebody how they should feel, bro? I had to learn that for myself.
Why do I even care?
Why do I even care that much?
Who are we to tell Kanye how to feel? Or
Kyrie
how to feel.
Yeah.
Who we are should be empathetic human beings that are willing to listen without judgment. Yeah. Right? If it doesn't make sense, make it make sense for me, right? Twitter ain't the platform to make it make sense.
No, it's not.
An interview after a game where all y'all doing is judging me. Yeah, I'm defensive right now.
Yeah, y'all expecting me answers already.
Y'all have already brought me the wrong way. You've already thrown the label at me. I've already told you that label doesn't fit what I'm trying to do, and y'all just ignored it.
Yeah, I ignore what I'm saying. Yeah,
And the media
I can see the
became-
growth in Kyrie for sure, though. I can see that. I could definitely invite his
I'll go back-
conversations.
If
Yeah,
you go back and watch Ye interviews, because you told me that you haven't been watching. If you go back and listen to him, he's been talking about this stuff for nearly a decade. If you go
no, I
back,
feel you. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. When
This ain't new.
when Yeezus came out, he was on
Jesus
that.
came out, his
He
whole
was
thing
on that.
was attacking the industry. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So imagine all the interviews.
And he was saying that in that interview on the Apple interview, he was like, people are going to appreciate this interview like 10 years from now. He was on
with
that.
Kanye, that's the thing in most
He was
cases.
on that.
It
He
is.
was on it. I just wish Kanye would read more, bro. Like, there's some things I was just like, bro, come on, bro. Like, you know,
That's how I feel about
in the
Kyrie.
world, bro.
That's how I feel about Kyrie.
He's such a troll. We don't know because he said it on Twitter. Now
He said it on Drink Champ, but he said it a while. I remember him tweeting like when Mark Twisted Fantasy was out, and he was like, "I don't read books. I watch movies."
Some people watch movies. Some people get conversations. Not everybody learn from books.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta read, bro.
Kanye didn't have with people.
I feel like the reading
is more credible.
Reading is the number one mind exercise.
Reading, I'm pro reading, right?
Yeah,
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just giving some pushback, right? But
I got you.
I learned.
Yeah,
I look at reading. I look at it like this. If I were immortal, I could learn every lesson on my own. I wouldn't need to read. I wouldn't need to do anything because I would go through everything eventually on my own, right? But I'm not, right? We're not. Books are shortcuts. They're like extra lessons for me. That's how I always, not even always.
That's how I feel too.
Since college, I looked at it like I'm just getting some extra lessons in.
Somebody went through and they telling me.
Help expand my perspective. Conversation the same way. I love speaking to people because it's like, yo, I can learn something from you because it's only one you. It's only one person that sees the world like you.
Yeah.
You have something to teach. And I'm just that guy that likes to talk and I like to read books because it helps me learn twice as fast as somebody that, man, I ain't talking to nobody and I ain't reading no books. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to learn.
I'm the same way.
I'm here to grow. I'm here to just because I felt that way yesterday, that don't mean I'm going to feel like that tomorrow. You know, I hope I have perspective shifts. I like people that make me sit with my thoughts and make me question it. Yeah. Grow from it, you know?
So, those are your true friends, whoever you're talking about, for real though. Yeah, because it's not too many people that will like be real with you. Or like they will just be mad and not say why they're mad. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I do the freelance photography and I had one client, they're just kind of telling me like what I did well, but then they were just kind of going back and say, like, here's what I didn't like. And then like it could help you in the future. But it's just like when you can really tell between criticism and hating, and just like if you really decipher that and really don't take it personally, but just kind of take that as a learning moment and just kind of go back and look and be like, yo, they had a point, like, you know what I mean? So
ego get in the way, man. Our pride gets in the way.
Yeah, I try to kill that when somebody's trying to critique my work because I am always open to like, tell me what I could do better, bro. Because I'm not working for Warner Brothers or like Walt Disney, bro. Like I'm freelance, bro. Let me know.
Nobody told you that at all, bro. You're growing as a photographer. Like, I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see it too.
So the people that are pouring into you, I can tell that. And again, whatever I feel was kind of hate, you know, I ain't whatever. I'm gonna brush that to the side. But if I feel that you really offered me some criticism,
I can tell by the energy, bro. And I always tell people thank you for being 100 with me, because like I wouldn't have known like that shit was trash if you ain't said nothing. You know what I mean? I would have went back like, oh, this edit is cool, but like,
like you need people around you to keep it
for real. For real.
I think if anything, that's what I pray for the most, right? I pray that Ye and Kyrie are leaning on whoever that group.
Kanye think he don't need to get better, bro. He don't listen to people who broke.
Kanye is all about being better.
I feel you, but he don't see like I got you're right. You said this. You said this earlier. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
You don't. And then
but like when he get in front of the mic, bro,
he be talking whatever.
When he get in front of the mic, y'all see
the entertainment.
I don't watch the 3-hour interview. You see the soundbite that they want you to create the spectacle, right? Get provocative, right? And again, I like to be as informed as I possibly can before I stand on such strong
on idea,
Because
correct.
it's a
Or
thin
thought,
line
yes.
between judgment and misjudgment.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
very thin line between those two. And
Yes.
again, I really, really, really try to practice it. So just as much as I'm saying this in Kanye's defense, I had a conversation with a Jewish brother, white guy. And again, I say my brother, I call everybody that.
Yeah.
And he told me, like, you know, I feel a way if I'm walking down the street and it's a group of Black Israelites on the corner and they point at me and say, fake Jew. Like, again, who are you to tell me that I'm a fake Jew?
Correct.
If I've practiced this since I was a baby and this is what I learned, this is what I am.
Who I am.
Yeah. So who are you to say that I'm fake? But what you can do is enlighten me on your perspective without dismissing my beliefs, without speaking like in a condescending manner.
I wish we can get to that moment, bro. Like, we could go further with these conversations.
I think so.
It takes the individual to grow and get to that point.
Yeah, get out of the ego.
Man, I've read so much about our collective history. I've read so much about my family's history. I've had conversations with just like anybody possible in my family that can teach me more about how our experience was, to a point where I was once a slave to the idea of black and white. I'm really not anymore. I know so much. I've learned so much, and there's so much more I can learn, but about my culture, that I'm okay with now looking at it like, okay, bet. I'm not just gonna sit here and say it's the white man's fault that I did this or this happened. Like, what can I do, right, to get others past that? Which is why I'm in the space of education, because I'm able to give youth so much game and try to set them free from that at a much earlier age. Because if you allow it, it'll hold you back forever. But this is your life, and I'm never believing somebody else's lie. The world wasn't always like that, and that's all I needed to know. The world wasn't always black and white. So I'm not allowing that to hold me down anymore, right? I'm past that, and I want to get as many people as I can past that. And I wish somebody would try my blackness, right? Because I would take to school in the content that I've learned in the time that I took.
That's real, bro.
To this point, you know, I don't want to. I went to school with all white and Jewish kids from kindergarten to my senior year, which is why I needed to go to an HBCU.
Same here, bro.
We went to the same white high school, and Josiah went to Howard, by the way, and same feelings. Like, I got to be around my people.
I needed that, right? I didn't see a black teacher, right? If I let all of that really get to me, I probably would have never believed I could become a black teacher. You know what I'm saying? But I did.
Marquette.
At Marquette University, right? Like, my office is on campus. But watch this. When I leave our building, right, our hall where we run our program, the Educational Opportunity Program, you disappear. Nobody speaks to you. I'm employed here. My office is right over there. Here's my card. But you disappear in this sea of white. It is crazy, right? But I'm blessed to have amassed some of the knowledge that I have, because now I got a group of college kids that I can kind of get this information to early, you know?
Yeah, bro.
Right? Try to free their mind just a little bit early, because you don't have to be shackled down to nobody's lie. This is create your own lie, you know?
Yeah, if anything.
Whatever they tell you. Create your own story, right?
Y'all silly.
So you got history. I heard somebody play with this, right? You got his story, right? History. And you got my story. My story is a mystery, right? And I heard a dude say that before, and that really stuck with me. All of this stuff is a myth. All of this stuff is something somebody made up one day. Everything we believe. I don't know if it's true or not. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to create my own reality, and I'm going to will my own reality. I willed this position at Marquette, and I wrote it down.
Yeah.
I knew if I got to Marquette, they would pay for me to go back to school for free. I wrote it down, and in a matter of months, I made it happen, right? I'm going to create my own world. I'm going to raise my daughter to create her own world, because I come from God.
Yeah, you got to, man.
You know what I'm saying? We come from God. Why can't I? God created all of this. I'm
Created
nowhere,
everything.
right? I'm not on his level.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I'm
There's
not on
levels
that
to
level,
this. Yeah.
right? It's levels to it. He on the supreme
Yeah.
level. I'm nowhere near that.
Right. But
For my
I'm
world,
created in his
my
image, bro.
family,
Yeah.
for my family, I'm gonna create our world.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna work really
Yeah.
hard to do it.
That's
Let me
real, bro.
Oh.
They pastors say, oh, my dad, he's also my pastor.
Yeah.
But he always say you're more like God when you create, and like you're opposite of God when you just consume, or like, you know what I mean, when you don't do anything with the consumption, I guess. It's like,
I'd rather be in the game, you know, taking
Yeah.
the L or catching the victory than sitting on the side, you know, commentating, judging people that's really out here doing it, you know.
Facts,
I would
bro.
much rather be.
There's a lot of commentators out here.
It's a lot of commentators
The
out
whole
here,
world.
bro.
We got social media. That's all.
Everybody got a
people do.
podcast now,
It's
bro.
consume and commentate.
Yeah.
That's what people do. They consume and commentate about everything else that's going on. But it's like, yo, I hope you this critical of the mirror. Y'all done wrote 10-page
Damn, that's so true,
got a
bro.
10-page think piece on you and where you at in life. I doubt it.
Got a 10-page think piece on Kyrie Irving. You don't even know who you are.
You don't even know who you are. You know everything about Kyrie, though. Tell me about you. Are you this critical of the mirror?
Man,
most people aren't. You know,
that's
they can't.
real, bro.
They can't. You know,
That's
so
real, bro.
like I said, like all of that is just crazy that all of it's happening now. Like I really agree that
That's what I'm saying. We are at a moment.
we're at this moment right now.
We're at a moment.
I hope individuals can choose a path that everybody ain't following. Like I hope they use this to choose their own path right now. If anything comes from this, I pray one kid says like, you know what? I'm gonna just choose my own path.
Yeah, you got to, man. You can't be focused on what other people doing. You're gonna be sitting at home all day.
That's a waste of energy, bro. Yeah, man. But that was real, bro. We can switch it up, bro. You're a Bucks fan. You're a Bucks fan.
9-0 Bucks.
Yo,
I was gonna say you're a Bucks fan.
Yo, 2 years ago I called y'all winning the finals.
I was just about to say that. 2 years ago when nobody believed in Giannis, bro.
I told you I knew Giannis was gonna step up. Giannis is him.
Josiah definitely called that, bro. Josiah definitely called that. And that was, what year was that? What they won 2019?
2021.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah.
2021. Oh yeah. Cause I was like, who was I saying? I said the Nets. I said the Nets.
A lot of people did. You know?
I said the Nets.
Nets had us down 2-0.
I'm about to say now the Nets are trash, bro. They can't even win
the best
games.
basketball player on earth.
But watch this though. The thing about the Bucks that people fail to realize, if you ain't here, man, we took every bump and bruise on this journey to the ring, right? I watched us get bounced first round.
I'm about to say, bro, you be at the games, bro.
I should have beat the Raptors. Yeah,
look, watched us get bounced in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Raptors, right? Watched us win 60 games, get bounced second round in the bubble, right? Watched us win 60 again and get like they went through it all, and they went through it all together. Our core has been the core.
Giannis could have bounced too, and he stayed.
Giannis not even 30. That's crazy, bro. He barely hit his prime.
27.
He just learned how to play ball, bro.
It's getting scary, man. It's getting real scary.
I seen him hit the shimmy with the fadeaway. I was like, if he hit that,
Kobe lean. I saw him hit the ring. Run off of him like, y'all, it's getting real scary.
But it's funny because a lot of people are not even talking about the Bucks. They just talking about how sad the Warriors are and how sad the Lakers being right now.
The media, they don't want small market team. They not generating.
And he's not even American. So
we gonna make more money talking about how sad the Lakers are. We gonna get more clicks talking about how sad the Lakers, because that's all it's about, 2 clicks. We gonna get more clicks talking about how terrible the Lakers are than we are about how good the Bucks are.
Giannis, it has a potential to be top 5 all time.
All time.
Yeah.
And people
if he can get like maybe 4 rings.
Even if he gets 3 in Milwaukee, bro, that's crazy.
In Milwaukee, that's saying something.
He ain't had a ring in 50 years.
Yeah.
He got one year. Giannis is man. I don't care what Giannis decides to do with his career. I will be a Giannis fan to the day that I am going.
Yeah, that first one always gonna mean.
Imagine if Paul Jordan won in Indiana, bro. He'd be my.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like it is just what he's done, and they move around here. Like I'm at Giannis all the time. Like
that's hard.
I see him all the time. He go to our church. Like I see Giannis.
Oh, for real?
Giannis is a down.
His brothers being there too.
Humble dude. No. I haven't really seen Thanasis and them there. Thanasis don't be at church like that.
I didn't know that. That's what's up, Giannis.
Oh, he goes to Ken Lock Church.
So Ken Lock go from Detroit all the way to Milwaukee?
Now watch this. So we might be talking about two different Ken Locks, right? Kenny Lock is from Milwaukee, went to TSU with us. He was only there.
Kenny Lock.
Oh, Kenny Lock. I thought you were saying Ken Lock.
Like Solomon Ken Lock.
There's a Solomon Ken Lock in Detroit.
So watch, his name is Ken Lock. Yeah.
I got you.
So Ken Lock went to TSU with us. Started a church here not too long ago, but he really has just the younger demographic.
That's
right.
Man.
My church home is very traditional Baptist. Everybody's super old now.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like, man, what is going on here? After the pandemic, I really stopped going.
Yeah.
I would watch, and I just wasn't going to church. So for me, going to therapy so much, I'm just like, yo, something missing. Like, I like this therapy aspect, but I was raised in the church. Like, I gotta get back. I gotta get in the church. Yeah. Like, I need the word.
That fellowship aspect too.
It's something about
it's just something about being around like Christians, bro, like Black Christians. It's something about the energy.
It's love, know. So I see this energy. They got a beautiful building, and he's also chaplain for the Bucks.
Wow,
that's why y'all favorite, man. I see why Giannis is going to service.
At Giannis' house, him and Giannis are like besties.
That's hard, bro.
Him, Giannis, Middleton, Drew, they're like family.
I can see Drew going to church. I can see that.
Oh yeah,
that's
Drew,
hard, bro.
They do a lot in the city as well, though. Pat Connaughton, Pat is the man up here.
Yeah.
Bobby is the man up here.
Like, Bobby
Portis is the man up here.
Yeah, the fans love him, bro. Every time he hit a three, they be going crazy, bro.
He's the man.
That's crazy. Now Milwaukee was cool. Like just like I went to the Cuddy show. Like Mark showed me around a little bit. I was around his family, bro.
Yeah,
like
I've only been once.
Like I didn't know what to expect going. I just wanted to see Cuddy. I knew he was there.
Yeah.
So
like the mill, man.
I'm sure it's like developing now since y'all won the championship, right? Like
it's developing. Of course, development comes gentrification. So they moving the people out anywhere near downtown. They about to tear the Jets down more than likely. So it's crazy.
You're not a Packers fan, are you?
No. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not a Packers fan. I'm a hometown kid.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I became a big football fan when I moved to Nashville. That's when I got involved in fantasy. That's when I was like training. Then the Kaepernick stuff happened, and I stopped watching football like altogether.
This
real.
Is
my first season watching football again, right? Like at home.
I know a lot of people like that though. They're just like, bro, I'm more of like I'm not like casual or not even watching it for real.
It's not the same anymore though.
Yeah,
except when the playoffs start. Of course.
Yeah, if you're playing fantasy, I guess. Yeah, because I'm in a fantasy league.
Hope you win. Fantasy, you gotta
correct.
Watch.
That's how you gotta watch. Yeah. Nah, that's funny, bro. Black Panther come out Friday. Y'all going to see that movie? You going to take it?
I got invited to a private screening.
That's hard.
I want to say maybe like
the Wednesday before or Thursday before.
Yep, that Wednesday before.
I bet Giannis would be there.
Man, I hope so, bro. A lot of perks come with this job. This new Marquette, people.
I was gonna say you can be going to the Marquette basketball games this year, right?
Yep, I got a game to go to.
That's hard.
Tomorrow, hopefully, but I know I'm going like next week, Thursday.
Does D-Wade or like come up a lot?
Oh, I mean, he loves
Victor. No, Victor Lee with Victor. Oh, they have the same coach. They got the same coach.
Wade loves Marquette. Right?
Yeah,
and Wade took us farther than they had been in a while, right? I remember that Wade. So Wade, he comes back often. I know he did the convocation at graduation not too long ago, or the commencement speech. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
one of the graduations not too long ago. But I'm sure he'll be at a few games. They always recruit some nice guys throughout from across the country. So there's always some young talent there. And prior to me having this job, I didn't really go to a lot of Marquette games. So that's something I'm looking forward to, just to get over there. Me and Shaka, I done met Shaka a few times.
Oh, Shaka's smart.
Yeah, man. Cool. He'll come talk to my kids a lot. But I'm up here just moving and grooving, man.
That's hard.
In the Bucks.
Hey, you gonna be the person to bring Giannis on campus, and everybody gonna go crazy.
You're gonna be the GOAT, bro.
We got HBCU night, so the second annual.
Oh, that's hard.
Coming up in January. with the Bucks. So that's always cool.
What's HBCU out there?
There aren't any. So what they do, HBCU graduates, right, that are moving in the city, they put a panel together and they just invite all the kids out to share with them their experience. So it's just a really, really cool event. They give out scholarships to any students that are considering going to HBCUs, have been accepted to HBCUs already. And it's just a good resource and networking opportunity for the kids, just to connect them to that idea.
That's hard, bro. I'm proud of you, bro. That's lit.
Oh, man, we got moves to make, man. We got my boy King, man. He from the fake TSU. He from Texas.
He's from the fake TSU.
But he doing a lot of work. He the one that he brought that idea up here. So I was with him last night, and he gonna help give me some tickets for the kids. And
that's tight, bro.
Man, I'm just up here trying to grow as an individual and just trying to shine for these kids. That's all I'm about.
I feel you, bro. That's hard. Josiah, next week, are you planning on seeing Black Panther? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm planning
on doing it.
We'll
have a review.
Let's circle back. Yeah, let's do. Yeah.
We'll have a review next Sunday because I didn't think the first one was that good, bro.
You didn't think so?
It didn't.
Like, it was solid.
Watch, you see me scratching my head.
Like, it was just good enough. Like, it wasn't like excellent. You know what I mean?
It was one of those movies that I just watched. I probably only seen it at the theaters, and I probably saw it out the theater.
Yeah, me too. I seen it twice.
But that's to my point. That's to my point, though. Like, it's nothing you like go back to.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm also not in the big Marvel
the fantasy movies.
I'm not really into it that much. So I don't know if I feel that way because I got a surface level understanding. I watched X-Men as a kid, the cartoon.
X-Men is hard, man.
It's hard, right? So I watch all the X-Men movies, but how all of that stuff linked together and this, that, like,
it's a lot, bro. I feel like if you're not into it in the beginning, it's hard to get to like love that type of stuff now. Like,
I watched this though, that Spideyverse.
That was cracking.
That went crazy. I don't watch that 100 times. Like, that went nuts.
That was cracking though. I mean, I feel like they'll be all right. I feel like it's a woman-dominated movie. So
and I did hear that they kind of shifted it to that, which again, to the times. But I mean,
to the times.
My daughter isn't. She, we were in the store the other day. Some Black Panther toys were there. She said, man, that's for boys.
But when she gonna see the new Black Panther as a woman, she can be like, "Oh, I'm a woman."
You know what I'm saying? It might do something for her. So I like the pivot. I mean, Chadwick cast, his supporting cast were women. That movie.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it makes sense. And again, it's about things making sense or not making sense, right? That makes sense to me. So I can go check it out. Yeah, I like Lupita. At the end of the day, I love her.
I'm with you, bro.
I was gonna say she bad.
I thought it was just me, bro.
You said at the end of the day,
3 hours of her on the screen, we good, man.
That's why I seen Us, just because she was in it.
Us,
we got a lot of screen time.
But I mean, just to support Black women, that's a thing, and that's just a cool moment for them, and that alone is enough for me to be like,
did you check out Woman King?
I have not seen Woman King yet.
We were on the pod talking with you remember Janae Ho from TSU?
Yep.
Yeah, we was talking about that with her, that movie. It's a pretty decent movie.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely check it out. Like, I'm still adapting to like post-COVID. Like,
that's so real, bro.
Been going.
That's so real.
Since things been open,
yeah, I'm a movie fan, so I'm gonna go on Tuesday.
I would go by myself all the time.
I go. That's me, bro.
That was really my thing, right?
I feel you.
I'm trying to see if the Packers just won or lost. These guys.
Lions defense was going crazy on them.
8-0 hit the Lions.
And they had 3 interceptions, bro. 8-0. It's 3 interceptions. That's why I was asking you if you're a Packers fan, because Aaron Rodgers, bro, he seemed like he losing it.
Yeah, I don't know what Rodgers got going on this season, man. Could be too many shrooms or something, man. I don't know what
That's hilarious. He be hanging out with Joe Rogan too much, bro. It may be something, bro. He got that crazy haircut.
He's committed regardless, though, man. Rodgers is a legend regardless.
He Hall of Fame no matter what.
They struggling, man. Brady said, F them kids.
That's so crazy, bro. He said, F my family, bro. I'm about to lose.
I'm about to
take
go
all
lose
these
my
L's.
boys, man. I'm about to go
Facts,
lose
man.
with the team, man. I don't need y'all.
You
You
wanna play
rather
against
get sacked.
Arizona
You rather get
twice
sacked
a
5
year,
times.
man.
You rather get sacked 5 times a game than be at home with your kids, bro.
Yeah, that's
That's
nuts.
wild.
That's wild. That's wild. But no, bro, man, I just appreciate you reaching out, bro. You know, I'm always here to support whatever you got going on.
Nah, man, I appreciate this. I know this was like super quick, like just a Twitter connect, and I was like, let's get on here because we needed to talk about like the way the culture is shifting or moving, rather. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate this, bro. Hopefully it won't be the last time we get you on here,
not
bro.
at all, man. And
Hopefully in the playoffs we
Look
can
at the
get you back
culture,
here.
right? Just to wrap up that culture talk.
Yeah.
Life is a series of meaning and absurdity, right? So if we in a moment of absurdity, I pray my Black brothers and sisters are just afforded the time to find meaning again, right? I don't care if it's Ye, I don't care if it's Kyrie, I don't care if anybody affected by Takeoff or any of the losses that we've shared as a hip hop culture. This might be a moment of absurdity, but they go hand in hand. You gotta have these moments to find meaning again. So I just pray that collectively, you know, we can find that meaning. It starts with the individual. It'll get better, right? With time, it'll get better.
Yes, sir. Man,
All
this was a good show, bro.
Yeah,
Episode 54, like Just a Black podcast. We'll catch y'all on next Sunday then.